All right, so in our previous lecture, we got our basic application framework going and we were able to install the application, but it doesn't do anything yet. I still don't discourage new Odoo developers from first making sure you got your application up and running, it gets installed okay, then you start adding more complexity to it. So I'm now going to open up our dietfacts.py. So this is a Python file, so we're going to open it up here, and we don't really know any Python yet. The idea is that we're just copying and pasting some text that's already been there. We changed the OpenERP. We've created some files, but we haven't really done any programming. So this is going to be our first real segment of code that we're going to start by copying and pasting. And you can type this out. It will be in our developer training tools, that you can download as part of the workbook. But it's going to start out really simple, and I am going to type this out for you just so that you can follow along. And the first line that I'm going to type is from OpenERP import models fields. Now there's a little bit in our Python primer that we have, and in the section you can go to learn more about Python. It explains that this basically is pulling in libraries of functionality from the OpenERP framework. So now we don't really care all that much at this point about what any of these libraries do. All you need to know is that they work. And that what this is saying is we're importing the models and we're importing fields because we're going to extend our product template model with calories. Just like we did through the interface, we're now going to extend it through code. And so it's going to take us a little bit of code to do this, but you don't have to understand how it all works to make progress with it. And so one of the things that you will learn in Python and any other language is that you'll have a definition. In this case, it's called a class. And models are, in a sense, classes. When you create a product.template model like what we have in our Odoo, right here in our products, this product.template that we've created our products, and I'll go ahead and add this one into our new database so we got it in there. This is a product.template model, and we can create classes or models in Python that work right with Odoo, and it takes very little code. So let's see how we can extend this product template with our own code. And so I'm using the word class here, and you can almost think class is like the model. It's synonymous. And I'm going to go ahead and name it Diet Facts so it's unique for our application. But behind that, I'm going to add product template, because what we really are doing is we're extending product template with Diet Facts information. We're giving it this name so we know what it is. And I'm going to then put an open parentheses and we'll type models.model. And we end the parentheses and then we have a colon here. So now, one thing about programming, if you've never programmed before and this is all new to you and you don't know anything about Python, is some things are just what you call syntax. It's the way it is. And once you've done it a few times and you've copied and pasted the code and you've seen how it works, it'll get easier. This right here never changes when you're creating models. This is what tells Odoo that you're working with models. You'll always have a class up front, and then you just name what you want to name it. So there's no magic here. The colon just tells the Odoo framework, or in this case the Python interpreter, is really what it is analyzing this code, because this is in Python. The colon just means this is the end of our class definition of our structure at the top. Now we want to give some attributes to this. And one of the things that's really nice about Odoo, I think I can just tab. No, I have to hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just for now we're using Nano. We're going to use a better editor soon, but we're going to start real basic. We're going to go here and have name equals, and we know the name. It's product template. So we're actually using the same name as our product template because we don't want to create a new model. We just want to extend the model product template that's already there. And we do that with a word called inherit. And this word inherit is, you can think about just inheriting genes from, your parents, that you inherit certain traits and certain processes. Well, we're inheriting from product template. So right away, there's a lot that's happened here that we've told Odoo. We've told Odoo that we want to create this class, this new class called dietfacts _ product templates. And we want to name it product template, meaning that we don't want to create a whole separate model. We could, if we so chose, create a product.template.dietfacts that would hold all the product information. It would have all of the inherited qualities of product template, but it'd be its own separate model. And that means we have to create our own separate views for it and everything that would go along, with having its own model. But by inheriting from product template and keeping the name the same, because these are the same, Odoo knows, hey, this guy just wants to extend product template, add to it, not make a new model, and not make a model by itself, but pull everything from product template and add some more to it. And what do we want to add to it? We want to add calories. And we don't use the X underscore because we're not adding it through the interface. Typically, when you're making Odoo applications, you don't add these through the interface. So we're going to say calories, and we can then say fields dot and integer, because calories is just an integer, and let's call it calories. Just like that. Now, this is all we're going to run. We're just going to add this field to our model. There's a lot to learn here if you haven't programmed before. We have a comment up at the top, so I can make another comment here that says create or extend the product template model with calories. And that's all it's doing right now. Well, it's going to do a lot more as we make our application more complicated. But you can see right here that we have a class that will always be in front of anything we define new in terms of another model. And this inside of this parentheses is sometimes called a parameter. But all you have to know is models.model contains what Odoo needs to add this field to the model. We have to tell Odoo what we want it named, and by keeping the name the same, we're telling Odoo, don't create a new model, just extend this one, and that's the inherit. Now, sometimes in Odoo development, they kind of push off the inheritance piece a little bit, and you create your own models from scratch first. I really believe that the inheritance is important to understand from the very, very beginning, because 99% of the time there's already going to be a model in Odoo that's going to be useful to you that you can extend and make a part of your application. And so you're going to be adding to products, you're going to be adding to your sales orders, you're going to be adding to your customer information and things like that. So you want to understand this inheritance from the beginning. And this is as simple as it gets. So I'm going to hit Control-O to save it. And if you take out the comments, we've really only got 5 lines of code. We have here where we're importing our libraries. This will never change. You'll use this. I mean, I shouldn't say it'll never change, but for a lot of your Odoo application development in Python libraries, you're going to be importing these at minimum to work with the Odoo framework. And you're always going to have a class declaration where you tell Odoo what models you're wanting to work with. In this case, we're working with product template. Here's the name we want to inherit. The syntax looks funny, but you're just going to have to, especially if you're a new programmer, try it a few times. Try adding other fields. Try, maybe spend more time with it outside of just this video at learning some of the basics of Python. But this is about as simple as it gets. So we control O to save. We go back to here and stop our server, and then just up arrow means we don't have to retype it. So I'm just hitting up arrow to get right back to my command, and then I hit enter, and it's going to restart and update our module. And you'll notice right here I can see it says creating or updating tables module diet facts. I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can see the readouts a little better next time it comes through. But it knew that it had to change those structures. So now see what this means. If I go into settings and database structures and models and go to product template, oops, I should have just said product. Get there just as fast, right? Product template. Notice that calories now is part of this structure. So it's brought it in, and you can verify your Odoo applications are doing what they need to do at the model level. We have the calories right there ready to go. And that means that we could still go here in this case, and we'll just do it so you can see how this would work. Go here to products. We can quickly jump in to our edit form view. We'll just hit enter, go to the barcode one, and let's just type field name equals calories. And this I should have left as an exercise to you guys, because it's pretty simple at this point to see how we've added that field, and now we're putting it in this view. And in this case, we didn't add the model, we didn't add the field to the model through the interface. We're using our custom application to add it. And that's why it doesn't have the X underscore in front of it, and why here on this side it doesn't have the X underscore in front of it. It's because it's actually using our application that we built. So now we've actually got an application that does something. We've modified the models. In our next lecture, we'll see how we can now modify the view the same way.